from Woods Hole Oceanographic, and
like
he
this
mentioned earlier
okay. There's
that
some on that other
there's
slope.
two different
So I'm gonna move
species
around
of
this
snails
side.
here, and the lighter colored
Copy.
ones prefer the hotter fluids. So
and these are lighter colored.
And the darker ones don't.
But look at the texture of the material on the mid flank. It looks like almost petals, or
at the top.
So
I'm just saying kind
what
of
about
the
that
lighter
really high
colored ones
flow
here,
stream
actually.
right there?
Oh, no,
is
there's a dark
that where we want to take a temperature?
yeah, I think up in the upper middle part of the screen is pretty close to the top where the shrimp is.
There's two shrimp.
Right
there,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, finally, these are hydrothermal
shrimp.
Yeah, that's where we want to go.
Okay.
All right, so we'll take a look at that flow coming out right there.
Close to watch, James.
Absolutely, thanks.
I think we're on until 2:30.
2:30?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll do that. Zoom out.
So it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon for us out here
As I get close to you,
on
I'm
the
going
ship.
to pull up above you.
Yeah.
Roll, there might be a good shot of D2 from my angle.
Copy that. Permission.
So you're looking at a
Permission granted.
hydrothermal
Just for a
chimney
minute,
structure.
And that move is stopped, right?
Oh, look at that.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect then.
These chimney structures form as warm water comes out from beneath the sea floor after having reacted with the rocks at depth. And so these fluids are carrying dissolved constituents of those rocks, primarily sulfur from the gases. That sulfur gases are the second most common gas that's expelled at volcanoes. Steam, basically water, is the most common one, but sulfur and carbon dioxide. Actually, carbon dioxide sometimes is the second most volumetric.
Okay.
And here in the Marianas, a lot of the volcanoes that have been explored by NOAA's Ring of Fire expedition have had a tremendous amount of sulfur. In fact, they landed the Ropos ROV in a liquid pool of sulfur. I think it was on Nico Seamount in the northernmost part of the Mariana
How's
Arc.
that temperature reading? They both still pretty low? Yep. Okay.
So a lot of the material that makes up the spires you see in these chimney
So I just set my
structures
skid down.
are
Less
metal
skid, and you can see there's
sulfides
more
of
water
one sort or another.
coming out of it.
So if you can see the view from the Sirius, you can see Deep Discoverer
Sitting right in
where
front
it's
of this,
perched right in front
right
of
in
that.
front of the spire that we're gonna measure the temperature of the fluids coming out near those clumps
Just
of
make sure we're real steady here.
circular-looking snails. And when we zoom in, you'll see some shrimp. The shrimp can get real close to these vents.
There's a crab. You can see that crab.
I can see a crab.
Yep.
Yep. One of these little vent crabs.
So watch these. I'm just making sure I'm real stable here before I bring the arm out. All right, looks good.
Oh, that's fine, pilot. Thanks.
Yes, please.
A nice rare shot of D2 here.
Very nice shot. Looking right down on the top of D2 and on top of that spire and all those snails.
All right, hydraulics are up.
You can see the rock sample boxes
Hydraulics are
that we collect samples and put them in the front and to the sides of the front of the remotely operated vehicle.
Okay, you think you'll be able to get the drawer in at all? Without, yeah.
Wing in, you talking about?
Yeah, the wing in.
Yeah, stand by. Okay, port wing inboard. Let's see what we got. And
Don't let it hit the ground.
Yep, there we go. Sliding out.
Once you grab it, I'll wing it back out.
All right.
How's that sound?
Now the pilot's going to go in and grab that probe, the temperature probe.
Okay, tether looks happy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's zoom out on Sirius and just get a good view of the tether.
Yeah, thanks, Roland.
Perfect. She looks good. All right. Hydraulics coming on. Twitch.
You want me to take your mini?
Yes, please.
The pilot has a
Everybody.
whole bunch of cameras that he can use when he's manipulating the
Looks like it's almost blowing in your face. Is
the
that
mechanical
accurate?
arm
Up, up.
here,
Back up, back up.
so that he can get a parallax view of what he's doing. It's really hard to do it with just a flat video screen.
You want me to take your Zeus too or not? Copy that.
Attention all hands. The ship's door is now open for the next 10 minutes. Again, the ship's door is now open.
Okay. How does that look, Copilot?
I'm happy. Temperatures staying pretty nice and cold.
What's-
At the
yeah, it
tip,
is.
At the tip of the wing, yeah. So I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna melt the wing off.
Let's bring the wing back outboard, and I'm going to back off a bit.
Copy that. Wings out. Yeah, it does kind of seem to be blowing into your face a little
Yeah.
bit. Not super comfortable with it.
Yep.
But it shouldn't be too hot.
Yep, that's better. Better safe than sorry.
Copy that. If you want that wing in, let me.
Yep, let's bring it in.
Okay.
Stay there. Yep.
Oh, you took your mini back? Okay.
You can take it back now.
And we're just waiting for the pilot to grab that temperature probe
Coming up.
and get it in position where that shimmering water is, so we can see how
yeah,
warm it
you're
is.
right. You're right.
You want to try putting it back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Try to do a re-grip.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Up, up. Ooh.
A little bit too.
This is a tricky business, folks. Imagine yourself trying to pick something up just looking at a TV screen.
Might be able to get a reading of this.
So,
Magnet is flipped.
Tara Harmer-Luke, she's expert on hydrothermal vent symbioses, and I think she might call in and tell us a little
That's
bit
right.
about that.
Let me bring that wing back outboard.
Fantastic.
Sorry, watch leads.
Hi,
I'm just
this is
getting
Tara.
repositioned here.
No problem, pilot.
Go ahead, Tara.
So, some
You
really,
in the background?
so one area that I'm really interested in is chemosynthesis, and that's
That's not a
organisms
good
that
angle.
can use these chemicals that come out of these hydrothermal vents as food. Just like plants
Getting
use
extremely
sunlight
close.
to
Yep,
produce
I see
food,
it.
chemosynthetic organisms use these chemicals like hydrogen sulfide. And
Oh, I see what
animals
you're saying.
can't do this, but bacteria can.
Yep.
And
I
a
can
lot of
bring
these
in.
animals host bacteria that are chemosynthetic. So basically, the
bring the
chemosynthetic
wing in.
bacteria
Yes, yeah.
use these chemicals coming out of this hydrothermal vent fluid to provide food for themselves and
I
also
have a
for
little
their
bit
animal
further I can
hosts,
go.
such as the albinicarid
Okay.
shrimp,
Yep.
several different types of vent gastropods, and so on. So
Okay, I'm just going to drop
this
it.
is how a microbial ecologist can actually study the deep sea.
Nice.
There we go. Okay,
So-
we're back in business.
So Tara, then when you have you collected these gastropods and shrimp and studied that?
I have.
All right. We're going to reset.
Mostly I was working with
Everything's
the
good? We're in good position.
tube worm symbiont, the Riftia symbiont.
This is why Carl had the
So
drawer.
the bacteria that you find in the giant tube worm
Spread out a little
along
bit,
the Pacific Rise. But one of the things I was
I'm
doing
going
was
to
looking at the
reposition.
symbiont actually free
Can you bring
living
the
in the
minis over to
environment.
my arm,
And
please?
to do that, we collected all sorts of different animals and surfaces and basically scraped bacteria off of them to see if we could find these symbionts.
So is the anatomy of
Let's
the
reposition
shrimp, the gastropod, do they differ from what a non-chemosynthetic shrimp and gastropod would be?
Take,
Like, for example, with
yeah,
the
you keep
tube
it easy,
worms,
actually.
they don't have digestive systems,
Copy
correct?
that.
So is that the same thing that happens with the gastropods and the shrimp?
Yeah, it's similar, but not exactly the same. With the shrimp, they certainly can eat. They certainly
When we bring that
have a
wing
mouth,
inboard.
they have a gut, they have a whole digestive
Inboard?
system.
Yep.
But if you notice that these
So
albinocarid
that's why we want-
shrimp
or, I'm sorry,
have
outboard.
kind of an extended carapace, they're kind
That's
of
why we want to have the
fatter
drawer
looking
extended.
than
Just a
the
little
normal
bit, yeah.
shrimps that you
But-
see that aren't hydrothermal.
Yeah.
They actually farm bacteria.
Oh,
They're
can't
cool.
set down
They
if we
can
do that.
actually eat the
So
bacteria
I'm
from
going
there.
to set
So
down to keep stable.
they're pretty
but
cool.
That is
Oh,
just
very
not going to
cool.
work here.
Very
Well,
cool.
when you say farm it, don't the bacteria have to be close enough to the effluent
So I'm
coming
gonna
out
stay up.
of the
I'm gonna
vent
stay
in
off
order
the
to
vent.
be able
Turn the
to
float method?
take advantage of their chemosynthesis?
That's why they're crawling all over it.
They certainly
That's why the
do.
shrimp
why
are
you
crawling
find
all
the
over it?
shrimp
Yeah, yeah.
right around the shimmering water.
Right. That's why you see the shrimp crawling all,
Okay,
all around
but
that
when
shimmering
when
water.
I think of farming, I think of the way ants farm aphids and things, and they actually carry the aphid up and help it move around on the plant and deal with it, herd it, and I don't know that the shrimp herd the bacteria. So not quite sure what you mean by farming it.
Periodically, I'm not
So the shape
certain
of their
there may be
carapace
bubbles coming up.
is extended, and inside, underneath, there's basically room for bacteria to grow.
Oh,
They
I see
can
what you
pick
mean.
their bacteria off of their
I
carapace,
see.
and they go into the vent fluids to actually feed them. Basically.
Feed them. Wow. Oh, that is so
it's
cool.
so it's exactly
It's
like,
exactly like the
it's
ants.
exactly like. Wow, thanks
How
so much,
amazing.
Tara.
I love it.
Tara, tell us your affiliation. Where are you calling from? Well, I know you're calling from your home, but where?
Hi, I'm calling from Stockton University in New Jersey.
Thanks.
New Jersey. That's where my mom was born.
That's where I was. Well, I wasn't born there, but that's where I grew up.
Ah. Mom was a Jersey girl.
Yeah.
All right, things are looking better.
Tara's near the shore.
So watch leads, I had set my toe on the mound to try to keep stable
Okay.
while we take up temperature.
Okay.
But when I did that, we were not able to bring the drawer out to have easier access to the temperature probe.
I see.
So now we're trying the floating method. We're not touching down.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Tricky.
These guys are good, though.
I know. It's amazing. Just watching them. That is so deft.
So we have a
Yeah.
couple more hours left in this
You know, watch leads,
dive.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just not comfortable
Okay.
doing this here. I apologize. It's
Yeah,
just,
no, I can understand.
It's just not keeping stable. I'm creeping forward and I'm
Yeah,
not able
this
to touch down. And,
it looks really friable, really fragile, falling apart.
yeah.
And we
But-
definitely don't want you to.
So I apologize about that.
No problem. No.
Understood. Well, what we wanted to find out was, as we approached this part of the lower wall of the caldera, whether or not there was hydrothermal activity, and definitely there was.
Yeah.
There are a couple indications here, though, despite the fact that we don't have a temperature measurement, that the temperatures here might be higher, and that is that we have the shrimp.
But we could go to another. We might be able to
And-
get to another cone.
Maybe, but in the side scan, let me get that up again. The multi-viewer, up,
And spooling down.
space.
I would.
You know what would be nice is to go around the other side of this thing and look at it. Can we do that? Is there...
Yeah.
Yeah, probably safest to move, because I
Well,
see...
yeah, however
I
they
see.
want to be. Yeah, however they.
Yeah, whatever is good for you.
Yeah.
Starboard, I
Yeah.
would have suggested,
Yeah.
Let's do that.
because it looks like it's coming up to the port.
Would be nice
So-
to get a good. Would be nice to get a look at the shrimp.
Yeah, it would.
If this
That's
is
true.
co-pilot?
Get around the other side. I bet there are some. But we had both the shrimp and the
Go
lighter
ahead,
colored
co-pilot.
What's our
gastropods,
course?
which
Bailout?
Tim Shank was saying
Heading bearing?
preferred the warmer water. So
Yep.
the fact that we've got shrimp and the whole thing, the whole top of it is
300
white, which is
degrees.
probably bacterial. It suggests that
You
this
still happy
is,
with
in
that?
fact, a warmer vent than the one we saw previously.
Yes.
Strongly
Excellent. Thank you.
suggest.
Yeah, strongly, she says. I always put in the, it's likely to be a something or
Another
other.
one off in the
Weasel
distance.
words.
The autos weren't working too well because
Ah.
we were on that slope.
Yep.
You see the other one off in the distance.
Oh, look, there are more snails on this side clustered around
Yeah,
right
yeah,
below
yeah.
that vent.
So
They
we're
were good,
gonna
actually.
Zoom
I'm
in.
way above this.
Yeah.
Tim must have stepped out for a moment. Tim Shank, and he was asking if there were shrimp. And
There's a
yes, there-
fish. We can zoom in that fish in the meantime.
Zoom in.
The fish
Ooh,
has been
yeah.
swimming around for quite some time.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
looks very similar. I think we have seen him before.
That's not the duckbill, is it?
Well, that's what I was thinking it was, Shirley, but I'm terrified of saying it
Yeah,
out
me-
loud.
Me too.
Yeah, this is Bruce. So this
Good,
is
zoom
another
out.
cutthroat eel.
Yay, we did it.
The snout's not as long and flattened as the
Cutthroat.
duckbill eel.
Yeah. Okay.
Pilot the on your
Cutthroat
sonar
eels
swimming
swim
to
with
30
a
meters.
sort of characteristic
Yeah, sure.
fashion of having the tail slightly upturned and the fins kind of crimped down, so it makes them look like they've got a distinct tail fin with a little indentation for the rest of the fin. That's a little hard to describe, but most eels just have the fins that go evenly all around the tail.
Want to zoom in partial?
Looks relatively smooth around there, but the cutthroat eels
Yeah, the zoom on this is
hold their
great.
tails in a way that makes it look like they've got a little separate tail fin. Ken Sulak, who was in Florida with the U.S. Geological Service, and was the person who revised the deepwater cutthroat eels in the last global overview, says the one that we saw previously that was a little more slender was an adult
Can zoom in
male.
tighter.
That's why it had the enlarged nostrils and flaps. And with the position of the
Are there any
fins that we were
shrimp
talking
in there?
about, we
Yeah,
saw
there
a
are.
species called Synaphobrachus
Look at that, and
crabs,
crabs.
found all around the world in all oceans.
Thank you, Bruce. We've got ourselves zoomed in on these snails, and we're seeing
Yeah, we
little
now we can see
crabs
the-
and
the
shrimp. Lots
Yeah,
of
there we go,
shrimp.
the shrimp.
So obviously, this is a warmer area with a lot more activity. Are you more stable on this side, pilot? She says, batting her eyelashes at you.
And offering chocolate.
Let's zoom out.
Offering chocolates.
I can put the autos in and
I
see how
have
we
boxes of macadamia nuts covered with chocolates
She does.
in my stateroom.
She does. I was there when she bought them.
look.
I
Well,
really do.
this is definitely not for want of doing it.
Yeah.
I know.
We understand. Thank you. But this is beautiful video.
Really, really nice.
I hope you folks at home are enjoying this incredibly high definition video of a
Yeah, there's just some hot spots
hydrothermal
below
vent.
me.
Coming to you live.
Coming to you live in
Live in
high
person.
definition
Yeah,
from the
you can
Okeanos
see,
Explorer.
You can see several hot spots kind of like coming
Down
up
a
just
little
below
lower,
us, and I
yeah.
just don't want to sit over that. So
Understood.
Yeah, we gotcha.
Yep, we gotcha. Right. Don't want to melt the ROV.
Yep.
Then we can't use it tomorrow.
we can get you a real tight zoom on that.
A tight zoom would be wonderful.
Go ahead, video.
Oh, is it coming out of the very top? Oh, it is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just streaming. This is what we call a white smoker. Well, not even that, really, because white smokers usually have a little bit of sort of white cloudy material, but, oh, it is warmth just streaming out of here.
Zoom out a bit.
So
yeah.
Sharon
Like
Walker
hot
Getting
spring.
my actual focus.
did a CTD that's lowering a rosette of bottles, so a whole bunch of bottles oriented in a circular container-like device, which I can't describe any better than that, into the water, and they take water samples at different depths in particular areas, and
Down a little
then
bit.
they said they saw
Tilt down.
a little bit of a hint of hydrothermal
lasers.
fluids in some of the
Lasers on.
bottles that they collected in this area.
Yep.
So this is active volcanism-ish. There's something down below the
Something
surface
venting.
here that is very warm.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah, they found that during that expedition chemical tracers of active hydrothermal venting. So it's what we're seeing right now is very consistent with the signal that they saw in the water column in 2003.
So
There's the
for the
prop
people
wash.
who know what this means, they were very weak ORP, oxidation reduction potential anomalies, and elevated helium-3, both chemical tracers of hydrothermal active venting.
All right, get a view for the slope here.
I just read that off her email. And on this inner wall
I'm at
of
about
the
30,
crater, we're
maybe a
seeing
little bit more on my
slabby
starboard. 45.
collections of, wow, I'm thinking this is volcanic clastics that are cemented.
Pilot, your last move was 0.
Not really
degrees.
lava
Yeah, I'm thinking
flows.
it looks about the same. Yeah, why don't we do... Let's see.
But what we'll be doing when we head for
like-
our waypoint
Let's do 20
number
meters.
5 is we're going to be going back up to the rim of the crater.
045, 0.1 knots.
Okay.
And that's where we had seen some active chimneys that had somewhat lower temperature fluids. So what I was thinking, as we were coming down the wall, we found some chimneys that had
Bridge, this
lower
is now?
temperatures than
Requesting a move
than you would
20
expect.
meters,
You know, if you're
0.45
really getting a lot
heading,
of
0.1
volcanic
knots.
activity right in the throat of the crater. So I was thinking most of the fluids were coming up along fractures that ring the crater. So they actually are called ring fractures,
Yes.
but how they are positioned is around the neck of the volcano. When magma in the neck or in the throat, in the conduit of the volcano solidifies, it becomes very dense because it has lost all of its gas usually, and it gets solid into a block of like a pipe below ground that is completely solid. And so the only place for fluids that
Workshop
might come in
ROV now,
contact
copy.
with that warm plug of magma underground to escape
Workshop
to the
ROV
surface
now.
would be around the edge of that solid plug.
Is the ship move underway? Okay.
Yeah, it is, pilot. No.
So, Don, why don't you come down like 5 meters?
Yeah, roger that. I'll come down 5 meters. Yep.
Really irregular surfaces on this boulder in front of us. This is typical of material that is blown out of the crater of a volcano. You're seeing both smooth surface slabs, and the one on the right-hand
tilt
side
up, Don.
has
That'd be great.
fragments that are cobble size, like, maybe 5 inches in diameter or so. We're headed for a
Rolling.
fish and for a...
Hey, watch lead, this is pilot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, did you need something?
No, I thought Nav was calling me, and I was
Okay.
responding to them. Thanks.
That's what I thought, yeah.
This one?
So we're just
This is
continuing upslope.
Yep, this is the other watch lead, and I think you're headed right for another chimney structure
Yep.
just below the fish. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I love it. I love it.
There's another shimmering water there out of that one.
Yeah.
Then I just click.
Boy, I can see it from here. Usually, as we're approaching these, I haven't been able to see it because we're sitting in the back row.
Yeah, we're in the back row.
And the good screen is right in front of the pilot, who is sitting about 4 feet from us, and the screen is about 4 feet from him. So he gets to see it first.
cool.
But wow, this one is just a pure white chimney.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see snails on this, Shirley?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We're sitting here jumping up and down in our chair. Yippee,
Yes.
yippee.
So the young person sitting next to me,
With
our
eyes,
videographer Annie, who
with
can see
eyes
way better
of
than I can,
Supergirl.
is vigorously nodding her head. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
snails,
yes.
snails. And not only that, but behind that, in the crater wall, there's a lot of white bacterial staining that
Are we
suggests
full wide?
that there's even more
Okay, thank you.
hydrothermal activity right up there.
So this is going to be a little easier here.
I'm wondering, pilot, you read my mind. I was just about to ask, do you think that we could settle here and
I think
perhaps
we-
get a temperature?
I very much think we can, yep.
He very much thinks we can, folks. This is fun. Oh boy, look at the snails. Okay,
You
and
wanna do
when
a quick
we
zoom, Roland?
All right,
when we
pilot,
zoom
we have
in,
10
are there
meters
shrimp?
left
There
for the
are
boat.
shrimp.
It's gonna be fine.
A couple. I see their little feelers.
And
Yeah, there are.
Yep.
The little white guys.
Yep, and we do have a request when we zoom in, if we can zoom in on the shrimp tube, please.
Right.
Oh.
That
What are
is-
those?
I was going to say, what are
What
those little red things?
Wait, there's something else in there.
There
What
is
are
something else in
they?
there. The little reddish thing.
Polychaetes?
You know, I
Tara's
was
saying
wondering.
polynoid polychaetes.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I wondered if they were. I'm learning. This is
Maybe
by
you wanna
osmosis. Sitting
Are-
next to Shirley is
Are they
dangerous.
Are they farmers too, Tara?
Look at the guy right there on the
my
top. You know, you can see the
gosh.
profile.
Oh
you
my
can
gosh,
see his
look
feet.
at that.
You can see his feet moving around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're, yes, they are.
Our
Yes, they
our
are. They
videographer
are scale
in the
worms.
private channel told us
Well-
these are scale. Well, yes,
Well,
are the
and,
scale worms.
Chen Chong has also put that into the event.
Hello,
the
Chen
chat.
Chong.
He's been with she has been with us for a while.
Cool.
Look
Pulling out.
at
Yep,
that.
zoom out.
I wanna look at
Somebody in the
shrimp.
front row.
So Tim said that these feed on the
Focusable
microbes on the
area.
rock surface.
There's one.
I'm
So
pretty
they're not
well-
farmers.
I don't know, can we go full wide? I'm pretty stable,
Oh boy,
so I'd like to just go ahead and,
temperature measurement.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, the
Okay,
pilot
so
says
while
he's
we're
stable.
preparing
Two
to
looks
do
like you're
this,
too
what
far
I
away.
would
Yeah,
like is
but
for
I'll inch up.
one of our deep sea biologists who specializes in
Let's go
these
full, are we full wide?
hot vent communities
Yeah.
to tell us how these organisms are adapted to live in these high temperatures.
Why don't they get fried?
Okay.
Yeah, some nice, cool, hard rock set down on.
Oh, good. That's encouraging.
And yeah, definitely want to get some close-up video of the shrimp too. We got some great video of the polynoid
Snails.
polychaete.
Yeah, I guess is that a
Snails
shrimp
want
right
the
there in
shrimp.
front? Let's do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get some real good video for you. Oh, look. A little guy on the left. And see how that they just wander about in this water.
They're farming.
They're farming, but you know, folks always ask.
Yeah. Okay. So
You know, how do they survive
right.
in these temperatures? Well, this may not be quite as hot as black smokers, but even at black smokers, these little shrimp can get very close to the openings out of which are coming waters that can be hundreds of degrees C.
So we're going to wait for. Yeah, Tim can't be on the phone. Thank you, thanks, pilot. And
Okay, zoom out.
Thanks, videographer. Video is great. Tara, you want to call in and tell us something about these organisms?
Sure.
Great.
So one thing is that the organisms are not living at 300 degrees Celsius. They're living at a much more moderate temperature. There aren't animals that can really withstand
There's a hot
hundreds of
pocket
degrees.
on the lower left.
But basically they get kind of close enough to the venting fluid, so they're in kind of a somewhat diffuse flow
ahead, Josh.
area. They kind of can get as close
Thank you,
as
Josh.
they need to
Thank
without
you.
actually getting in that really hot water. Although I will say that sometimes
That's good.
vent shrimp will get a little bit
All
too
right,
close,
co-pilot.
in which case they
Go
do
ahead.
basically get cooked.
Let's please get hydraulics on.
I'm not surprised. Thank you very much. Yeah, the vents can sort of move around, and sometimes the edge of a vent collar will break off, and then
Okay.
Um,
You got hydraulics
the
on?
hose kind of changes direction and can catch a.
Can we please
Unwary
get
shrimp.
the drawer out?
Roger. Draw out.
And so what
And
is what
Nav,
we're
if you
seeing
can keep
over
an
to the
eye on my
right,
dynamic positioning.
a bacterial mat?
I think it is. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm looking at it and asking
Close it.
Annie if she can see in that bacterial mat, because she's the one with the good eyes. If she can see anything shimmering in that area. I think it's far enough away from the chimney that you'd be able to see it
Okay, is that far enough, pilot?
if it's
for you.
actually happening.
Let's port wing inboard.
Port wing inboard. Roger that.
No shimmering from the best monitor by our videographer in the far front of
It
the row.
makes it easy.
Oops, we're hitting some rocks there. All right, roger that. Yep. Okay. All right, and we're still looking good on the tether here.
Yep.
Roger that. Yeah, it's still okay. Okay.
Yep. The snails actually, at the very top of the screen, are kind of crawling over one another.
We are detecting a little temperature rise in your probe there.
Thanks. Okay, so right now you can see, if you want to look at the quad screen image that's coming through that feed, you're able to see the images from the videos coming from the Deep Discoverer, but as soon as we get the temperature probe close to the vent, videographer's going to change the image so that you can see the temperature.
Yeah, we are seeing temperature on that probe too, pilot, about 6 degrees.
Yep.
Maybe if you back up a little or swing to port.
Yep.
Vehicle looked super stable to video. I've not seen any movement.
Okay, just keep a close eye on it now, please. Okay.
So we're getting some interesting fish swimming in this area, too. There are at least 2 of the cutthroat eels coming in, and then a rat tail swam past in the distance. It might have been another one of these large-eyed ones that we've been seeing, or even the coryphonoides. So there seem to be some fish that are not scared away by the ROV. They're coming in to check things out.
Yep, pull it back, pull it back, pull it back, pull it
Little
back.
shrimps or things that are scared by the ROV.
Up.
Yeah, Bruce, I was just wondering about that
Those
because, in
autos
fact,
do
I
not
was just
seem to
getting
work
ready to
well.
ask you that question. Because you noted earlier that because there's a lot of stuff in the water column that they may be
Let's swing
eating all
inboard,
of the
please.
stuff that's in this area.
Co-pilot.
But
Go ahead.
I was just
Wing
making
inboard.
some notes
Wing
about
inboard,
the
Roger.
fact
Yeah.
that we're seeing some fish in this area. So these the cutthroat and the rat tail. What else?
Thinking I might.
Well, those are what we've seen right
Gonna
here.
stow it?
I was
Just
thinking
the
about
two
it,
types of fish. There have been at least two of the cutthroat eels. One red.
Let's try one more time. Let's
It's
bring
a
it
little
out
bit
for it.
tricky. My
Let's bring it out
speculation
for it. I'm
about
gonna
them
go for
coming
it.
into
I'm not going to do autos. I'm just set down.
It's just a
Like we
wild
normally do
idea.
the
Of course,
sample.
these animals
Maybe just
haven't
stick your
seen
probe out to
sunlight. They
fly the
haven't
probe
seen
in.
bright lights like the ROV, so they're
Yeah,
not going to
but
react
be
to
able to
things
put
like
both toes
coral
down?
reef fish. You know,
Maybe I could come over to
sometimes
eye
when
level
we would do
and float.
submersible dives in shallower water
then the
where
autos
there's
would
dim
work
light
better.
coming down, there
Stick
would be
the arm
big
out there and fly
amberjack
in
that
with
would
the
go
vehicle.
along with
Yeah.
the submersible
Maybe
and then
just, I
dart
mean, I
out
could
and
stay here
grab
and
little
stick the arm
fishes
out.
or shrimps that were scared
Maybe the
into the water by the
autos don't seem to
submersible.
work well when you're
I don't know if that
real close.
happens here because these animals
I'm gonna
aren't
float
used to
here.
the bright lights of the sun. But it's kind of interesting to think of them hanging around, these eels and rat tails hanging around in this area where there's certainly a high density of potential food organisms.
Thanks, Bruce. Wait, you're on mute.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I was on mute. Bruce, I was asking, I wonder if they have any sensitivity to heat with their eyes. Do they see infrared?
I couldn't really hear that. I think I might have been
Yeah,
directed.
your mic is up too high.
About something about sensitivity of eyes.
Yeah, I wondered.
couldn't hear the question.
I'm sorry. I wonder, had my mic in the wrong position, and wondered if they had any sensitivity to heat. Can they see in the infrared at all?
I don't think there's anything known about that. I would think that it would be unlikely because red light's filtered out so quickly
Yeah, that's
by
true.
water, and I assume infrared is filtered out even faster than the visible red length. So it's the blue end of the spectrum that's more
right.
visible. But
Okay.
a lot
Gonna
of
do this.
bioluminescence that these animals would sense with their eyes tends to be more in the blue or the green part of the spectrum as well.
Oh,
But these
true.
animals, the rat tails and the cutthroat eels, do have large eyes. They certainly are picking up
Something, huh?
the bioluminescence, even
on,
if they
just let
can't
it- let it
actually
correct.
form
Yeah.
images very well. But again, with a couple of exceptions of midwater fish that produce red light, I don't think there would be much reddish light down there, and so I wouldn't expect fish to be sensitive in that part of the spectrum. There may be other
Okay.
people here on the call, though, who know much more about this than I do, and I certainly welcome any corrections.
Oh, certainly sounds logical. What do I know about fish eyes?
So for those of you who are just joining us, you are in for a real treat. We are coming to you live from the Okeanos Explorer, which is America's ship for ocean exploration. And we are
Probe
in an
temperature
area called the
rising.
Chamorro Seamount,
Looks like 10
Mariana
so far.
Trench National
Vehicle
Monument.
temperature is
Right
still
now we
stable.
are measuring water that's being vented out of a pinnacle, a chimney, and temperature reading is now being taken and going up, going up.
Actually, if you switch your views, there are other screens
looks like it's
available
up
to you
around
at the bottom
13
of your
degrees now.
computer screen, and we are looking at temperatures that are about, oh, wow.
They're spiking up
started-
now, they're up, yeah.
Yeah, it was at 13 degrees for a while. Now it's going up beyond
going up.
14. We're going to change
Same
scale.
Mhm.
It's up to, I'm seeing a readout on the left-hand side in the column of text at this 1484.
Steady.
Holding steady.
1532.
Vehicle's still good, and temperature probe is coming up on, looks like 16 now.
I'm waiting for it to go above 15. It's at 1585.94, 1601. There we go.
Okay, just jumped a little
Would it
bit.
be over further to the left?
Are you still
Maybe,
going out
yeah,
with the
maybe a
arm
little
any, or
further
no?
to left.
No,
I
I'm-
think
I
You're
think
staying
that's
still,
going to be a
okay.
little tricky to do because it'll be
You think?
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to be able to put that there.
Do we have a steady temperature reading, watch leads?
I don't see it steady yet. It's
Still rising?
Still
it's,
rising.
I don't see anything above about 16.2.
16.
Yeah, it looks like it's
16.5,
around
16.
Yeah, 15.75.
15.75.
From our view here, it looks like it's going down a little bit
So
right
I
now.
think
Pilot.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's more over to the
16.5.
left, that it might be a little bit higher.
I think it probably is. You see where there's more shimmering.
Where the vigorous venting is happening over to the left.
I don't know if you can move the
Yeah,
probe.
I don't know if you can do that.
Is it possible to move the probe, Pilot, a little
Yep.
bit to the left?
Okay, now a climb. Got to climb up to, looks like on
Hi,
our
this is
scale,
Tara
18.
Luke again.
Hi
I just
there.
wanted to point out that
Back up a bit.
Yeah, this
10
is hotter.
and 15 degrees is actually really, really warm compared to the surrounding water.
Absolutely.
Remember, it's close to 2 to 4 degrees Celsius in the deep sea.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Coming up.
so right around these
Temperature's
vents,
coming
you're
up.
going to
Vehicle
get,
temperature
16
still
or
looks
so,
stable.
maybe higher. But basically,
There's a little
when
bit
this
of
hot vent
current
fluid
coming in,
comes
that's what's
out, it
pushing me.
mixes with this
Okay.
really, really cold water.
Back up a bit.
Right.
So even just a few centimeters above a chimney, you're going to have a dramatic amount of cooling.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
The probe
climbing.
right now is reading 19.
Almost at
Would it be
20
possible
degrees.
to lower it closer to the top of the chimney? Can you lower it a little bit closer
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
top?
just give me a
She's
second.
Okay,
and
sure enough.
I'm gonna let the autos
I think
stable out here.
we've
Okay.
dropped out of the
Thank
hot
you.
zone there. It's dropping off.
So the highest reading we got so far, and you can see it on the temperature display,
on that chart.
is a little bit above 19
So like
and a
19
half.
and a half, yeah.
So it's like 19.7 or so.
These autos are just not holding.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's right. Yeah, so now
Doesn't take
yeah.
long for the water to cool off right around
Right.
where this shimmering water's coming out.
Right. So as Tara Harmer Luke was explaining before, just even a few centimeters away from where it's coming out, it mixes with that very cold water. And the cold water, you can see the temperature of the cold water. It's on the green line on that graph. If those of you who are watching are looking at the chart that has the two temperatures. So the green line is the
4.5.
ambient temperature, right?
4.5 Celsius.
And now we're up to, it looks like 13, 12. So just a few centimeters away, it starts getting cooler. But Tara mentioned that seeing temperatures of around 16 is still quite warm.
Now we're up to 19.
Okay, you're back in it again, Pilot.
Yep.
And as we go
Yeah.
closer to that, man, I'm wondering if it's going to get hotter. And that position is probably optimal.
Yeah, the autos are just not holding right now, watch leads. So
That's
Understood.
okay. That's fine.
doing my
Yep,
best here.
understood.
Oh, wait. Did it just
Okay, we
spike?
just
Wait,
got
it just
another
spiked
jump.
up to like
Jump.
31.
So
Oh
I'm
no,
right in
it's
there right
higher
now.
than
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
on the readout.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Wait.
Okay.
30.
I'm gonna back out here.
good enough.
Hey, look, see, that's up to 5. 31,
Okay.
32, 31. Yep.
Yep, 31 and a half.
Thank you.
I'm gonna back out and then we're gonna
Thank
stow.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
So it jumped up to 31 at one point.
Yep.
Yes.
It did
Yes,
indeed.
it did. Thanks.
31 and a half. And that is pretty warm, folks.
Just wait till I'm steady and then I'll stow here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna back way off it here. Okay, hold here.
I can't see
Just be
anything.
nice and well off the bottom.
Why can't you say anything?
All right, let's bring the port wing inboard. And
Port wing inboard coming in.
Yep.
So the pilot's going to put the temperature probe back down in that little blue space that you see there. And we will travel onward toward waypoint 5. Okay, Shirley, how much more time do we have down here?
We have an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
3:43.
Fantastic.
Yes, it's 2:43. Yeah, about an hour and a half left.
We are on Fiji time. It's 2:43 in the afternoon here and 2:43 at Greenwich, England, which is very convenient for us when we're keeping time.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
12 hours
So,
out.
okay. So, Tara Harmer Luke just pointed out that 31C is about 88 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a typical summer day in New Jersey at the shore.
Indeed.
Nice.
And that's really hot for Honolulu. And I guess up to that sort of temperature, we definitely go
Gotta
to the
bump
shore
it
and
in
jump
a
in the
little bit
water.
Oh, it gets a lot hotter than that in Florida.
I know. My mom used to live in Florida.
Okay, I think if you
I'll
bring the
bring-
port wing outboard,
Outboard.
it should correct
Straighten
itself.
itself there. Here we go.
Yeah. There you
There
go.
you go. Perfect. Like it was made that way.
Thank you, pilots. It was really well done.
All right, so let's stow the port wing outboard and then bring the drawer back in.
Roger that. Okay, port wing is all the way outboard, and we bring the drawer in. Drawer. Okay, drawers
Thank you,
back in.
co-pilot.
You're welcome. Good flying there.
And once
Okay.
we get everything stowed away,
What are we going to do?
we will be moving upslope toward waypoint 5, which is on
All
the
right, let's
rim
please secure hydraulics.
of the crater,
Okay.
up the top of the rim.
Okay.
And pretty much straight up this wall. But before we leave this area, it'd be nice to just get
Get a view of that white,
view
Yeah,
of
the
the
hydraulics
white
are
area
secure.
on the rocks up above
Thank you.
this.
Yeah, watch lead pilot.
We're going to do a quick pilot swap.
Okay.
Roger that.
Josh will be back with you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, pilot who is leaving. We love you.
So we have a bit of a shift change. I think they change out about every 4 hours. Is that right?
4 or 3?
Oh, every 2.5
2.5.
hours. Every 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
that's good. It's really intense work
Yeah, it
taking
is. It's
care of
very intense.
navigating the ship.
They got
And
2 vehicles down there. Connected to the ship, to each other.
One poor person that we have not mentioned is the guy who's down at the winch. You know, that is a thankless job. So thank you, winch operator. The thing is,
It's hot down there.
well, it's not the winch operator, but
It is. It's hot down
the
there.
engineers and
Oh, my
man,
God.
this ship is great.
And a 10-meter depth
The
discrepancy.
food
Yeah,
we've
it's-
had is excellent
Yeah.
and quite varied. Oh, wow.
And lots of choices at each meal, too.
That's right.
I was thinking I was going to lose weight on this trip, but that's not going to happen.
Well,
I also
I-
thought I was going to be able to exercise, but that hasn't happened either.
And I found the ice cream locker. I also
Oh, yeah.
found the captain of the ship down there opening the box of
Haagen-Dazs.
bars of Haagen-Dazs
Haagen-Dazs
bars, and
popsicles. Yeah.
he let me take one too.
But we have a lot of people who are making this, a lot of people right out
No,
here on the
go
ship
ahead.
who
Yeah,
are
I
making
think
this
I'm all
all
right here.
happen. We've got outstanding ship crew who are keeping this ship in position so that we can keep our ROVs exactly where we need them to be. We have the ROV crew. And
Welcome
they
to the batch
seem
of
to
pilots.
be, they're able to
Hey, watch
multitask
lead,
on this. Yep.
Would you like to continue to look at this, or shall we move on
Yeah, we'd like to look at that white mat over to the right, please.
to the right? All right,
Yep.
copy. Up on the slope.
Just up on the slope, yeah.
All right, copy that.
Wondering if that.
Oh, there's a eel
There's-
there.
Yeah, there's a kind of rough area, kind of in the center of the top
Mm-hmm.
of that white blob.
Wouldn't it be amazing if that was methane ice right next to this?
Oh.
You know, Roland, it really would. For folks at
geez
home,
Yeah, pilot, just so you know, we
Roland
are
has
not moving
Roland's
and have
our
not been moving.
videographer.
So we are
Yeah.
Award-winning videographer, and he's asking about methane ice, also known as a, well, basically it's a water molecule that is able to contain gases gas molecule that's able to contain water within it. You get it down to certain pressures, and it will freeze into an ice.
Yeah, come on in, Roland.
Our co-pilot
It's
has
called-
had some experience with that in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, it's called a
and
gas hydrate, and you can actually bring it up to the surface of the ocean, and if it'll start
in a special
melting.
container, yeah.
Well, yeah, if you keep it under pressure, but even if you don't, you can hold it for a little while, light a match to it, and hold it in your hand, and it will burn with a flame and not burn your hand because basically you're holding
Let's
ice.
look down a little bit.
Yeah, we want to look at the rough area just to the left of the current field of view and down a tiny bit. And that is probably what was a vent at one time. And there's something black there. That's probably a bio something. What are those black things, Shirley?
No, I don't know if that's a bio anything. Looks
Really?
like a rock to me.
Just a
Looks
rock.
like a rock to me.
Can we have a close zoom on that?
It's like a biographical
on
rock.
that one. I have no idea. I don't know. Those look weird.
They do look weird. Wait,
That looks like
might-
a rock. The one above doesn't look like a rock, but I can't tell. I don't know. Piece of ash, maybe.
All right. Is there any interest in a collection?
Of this?
Yes.
In no way.
Okay. She's holding out.
Do you want to think about
No,
that for a
thank you.
minute?
Yes, let me think about that for 1 nanosecond. No, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, pilot.
Just checking.
Come
We
on
can
up,
zoom
video.
out and continue up the slope.
So just as a reminder to our science crew on shore, we have collected 1 geological sample, so 1 rock,
All right, Nab, what's our heading?
period.
Yep.
So
Sorry, pilot. So
Corals coming into view,
waypoint 5
possibly.
is approximately
Yeah,
100,
just dust.
or I'm sorry, 750 degrees. If you do a
For
straight
people who
shot,
may be
and that's,
interested,
pretty
the
much up there.
rock
075?
will go
Yeah,
to
yes,
the
075.
Oregon State University's
I was like, I can do the math.
curation
That's a lot
center, and
Twice
will be
around.
available
Twice
to
around.
anyone who wants to work on
Hey,
it.
siphonophore.
of seriously.
People can just make a request.
Yeah,
So
are you
these
ready
these
to,
rocks are
move on,
not
or?
necessarily
Well,
for the
let's come
people
up
who
a little
propose
bit,
a dive.
See what's
They're
out
not for
there
me,
Copy that.
unfortunately.
But
yeah, take a
we're gonna
look
wanna
at the
move
view
pretty
from the
soon.
Sirius,
Yeah,
and you can
copy
see
that.
a really long
You can
siphonophore.
adjust your camera. down
Wow,
if you
that's a
wanna.
siphonophore? I thought that
Okay,
was part
you
of
want
the
it
cable
there, I'm at
initially.
about
I
45
thought, no,
degrees.
it's
I would hope
too
it
You
would.
want to
thin.
look at that second.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So siphonophores are a colony
Hi,
of
Patty and
critters.
Shirley. This is Bob Stern.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, mister, how are you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing? Looks like a great dive.
It's a
very interesting.
Fantastic dive.
Really glad you proposed this.
What do you think about collecting a piece of the sulfide that's being deposited? Just be nice to know what it is.
If you,
Around our active gas.
well, you guys, I thought you wanted to get some fresh material to be able to analyze the comparison with the rock dredge that you folks had. So I was holding off until we got back up to the top, where we might be able to find something in place.
This is completely unexpected.
Agreed.
This is one of the biggest surprises of either leg.
Did you?
Really?
I
Did
just took a piece of it.
Did you see the earlier part of the dive?
Completely unexpected.
Did you see the earlier part of the dive where we did find hydrothermal chimneys on ring fractures at the crest of the cone around this caldera? Because we may see them again when we get up the top.
So we already have a sample of the top sulfide.
We have not yet got a sample of any of that material right. We were looking
we
for
can put
fresh
it in.
stuff. But we are headed
All right.
toward.
Yes, the first sample of
Would you want to do
Right,
a
it
straight
is.
shot of 075 or follow more?
Well, do we want
why
to
not
go
take the
up
second
to the
sample,
waypoint, or do we want to
sample
go
of,
uphill?
Let me ask Washington.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is, as the plan is now, and the ship is in position, and the ROV and Sirius also, to go up slope, and when we got to the top of the slope the first time, there were hydrothermal chimneys up there as well. I think probably on ring fractures around the periphery of
looks like
the
it's uphill
crater.
also.
So I'm hoping we will see
gotta turn
more
your head in there.
hydrothermal
Don.
constructions
Follow
up
me around.
there. And
Okay.
if you'd like to get a piece of hydrothermal stuff, we sure could do that if that's what you'd like.
Washington, this is Nav.
We can just go 075.
that you could argue for a
All right, never mind. Washington.
I don't think
Yeah, it
so
looks like
on
that
this
kind
one.
of juts out there. a little
Pilots,
bit,
would you
doesn't
feel
it?
comfortable with a
the-
30-meter
the-
move?
the
At
difficult-
I could try.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
I mean, I would do
foul.
0.1.
yeah.
but
The problem
0.2
is that
fine, too.
we're already started moving,
0.15.
upslope.
You can't do 0.15.
But I think we may be able to find
0.1.
another hydrothermal vent up there.
Come on, in video.
And if you want a hydrothermal sample, if you think that'll be a good thing for the community, boy, we will grab the first one we see. Now, what is this?
I
What
think
is?
it would be good for the community.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. A dead snail higher up on the crater wall means there is something even shallower that produced it.
Yeah.
These are dead guys that have tumbled down, so I'll bet you we're going to find more hydrothermal systems up the top of this thing.
And fresh volcanics are good too, but if you see something looks good from the sulfide, let's grab it.
Yeah, okay, we'll do. Thank you, Bob. Good to hear you.
Hey, Patty.
Yes?
Hi, Patty.
Yes. Who is this?
Melissa, hi, Patty.
Who is saying hi, Patty?
That was Melissa.
Melissa, hello.
All right, pilots, we are on the move.
Thank you.
Roger. Copy.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, we're going to do that.
Good to hear your voice, my dear. Take good care of Bob. Oh, a lot of broken up volcanic clastics. And large blocks of the same material over on the right-hand side.
Zoom in on this in the water column.
Oh, we have something there
What is that?
squiggling around.
Is that a polychaete?
I think it's one of those worms.
No, it
we
was
saw
it was
earlier.
it was
Landed.
moving
Yeah, it was-
under
yeah,
its
no,
own
I know.
volition.
Yeah, I know.
And there's a fish.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
With
there's
that
one of the-
long, yeah, that
Oh, what's going to
extended
happen when
dorsal
they
fin.
meet one another? Is that food for a fish?
That
Does
shrimp
that fish
is.
see that thing? Does the thing see the fish?
Nobody sees anybody.
Fish is ignoring it. And the shrimp. Beautiful fish.
Yeah, really
Great
nice,
view of
nice
this.
view.
So what is that fish again? Same guy we saw earlier, I think, but I can't
This
remember
is
the
another
name.
one of the codlings, the family Moridae. We have a little bit of a discussion going on emails about whether this is in the genus Limonema or Lepidion. It's got some characters that are a mixture. You see that
Yeah,
the
design.
fins, the thread-like fins on the bottom of the fish sticking out are bifurcate, too. That's a characteristic of Limonema.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see that the fins on the top and bottom toward the back are kind of indented a little bit with a larger lobe toward the back. And the really tall filament on the fin in the front on the back is characteristic of the genus Lepidion. So we're still working this out, but it's definitely a codling in the family Moridae. And these are relatives of codfish and also relatives of the rat tails.
that an ROV I see in his eye?
Interesting. Very beautiful video.
Just let it go down. Just let him swim through the screen.
And he pauses just so that we can get the
See
beauty
that
shot.
lateral line really well.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Now you can see those bifurcate pelvic fins, the fin on the bottom. That's two elongate rays of Limonema. The other genus Lepidion supposedly only has one elongate
Could we
ray.
turn off
But then the puzzle is the fins